Hi, and welcome back for a garden tour. This is May 2026. It's the first one I've done of this year, but that's because we've had to do a lot of work in our garden space. So without further ado, let's get started. Let's start at my front garden once again. At this point, the phlox is done for the year, but my clematis is doing a lot better this year. So far, hasn't been eaten by any deer. But I desperately need a bigger trellis so that it actually grows nicely. Did the same thing. I've got my little violas there. I have a little primrose in there as well. Still don't know what this yellow thing is, but it's pretty cute, so it's definitely gonna stay. My thrift is doing pretty well, and I did this combination again. I really liked those dark purple pansies with the lamb's ear. Got my apple blossom yarrow just getting started. Look how pretty. So pretty. I'm assuming that's probably white, honestly. So I might dig that one out at some point, but not right now. My verbena I planted last year came back. So I was pretty happy about that. That one was pretty fun. I've never seen verbena like that till I got it for free. So yeah, pretty happy about that. Swinging to this side, I did get a little fern leaf lavender. It's doing pretty nice. It likes its little spot. I did finally have to get new pots this year for my front garage area. And I did the same combination I usually do, which is some sweet peas, which they've just kind of started blossoming. This year I did an ivory princess calendula and then pansies around the side. This garden bed looks pretty much the same as it usually does. Still don't have a good clear direction on what I want to do in this space. I was asked to leave that area kind of a little blank so that maintenance can be done with the drip irrigation and stuff. So I'm trying that out this year. I've been keeping it weeded. I did buy a rose, which is right now shadowed by this larkspur that has now traveled to my front garden, but it looks pretty healthy. Oh, I even have some buds. I threw this little heart trellis and basket in there just to add some color when it was early spring, but they died out. Those baskets are never really that great, so I probably move that so my rose has more room. The allium did really cool again this year. I love those things. Last year I let a couple of them dry and I kept them for decoration, so probably gonna try and do the same this year. Good 4th of July decoration. I do have a poppy coming up here, which is pretty cool. And my hydrangea looks fantastic. Got this little pot this year. I went again with the dark red and the interesting looking bacopa. And this year I tried a red gomphrena. I don't like the color red that much. Like, I like this color. I don't like this color, but it'll be nice to use in some decorations. Over here, I did end up getting a couple more delphiniums. So this one I had last year. This one is new to me. I also have my pincushion flowers I grew from seed planted there. And then I got this one this year too. Very cute. And this is my little pot for the front. I went with a Priscilla double petunia. My goodness. Again, along with the sparkling amethyst verbena, and then I went with an angelonia as my bigger piece. My winky rose columbine disappeared, but I do see a little sprout coming back. And the other thing I realized, I was watching last year's May video, I lost my mallow cups. That's usually in this area, so that's a shame. I do have a tiny little rose there just because I ripped it out of a different pot and thought I'd stick it there and see what happens. And I do see some Canterbury bells coming back, so they won't bloom this year, but maybe next year. My ajuga continues to slowly spread and take over, which I'm here for that. I did a different combination in this pot this year. This is like, I guess, the new and improved version of Bubblegum Vista. It's like a cool blue instead. And I paired that with a lobelia, and I got this interesting looking like green verbena. And I threw some stock and some snapdragons in there. My lilac is getting huge and pretty happy about that. It was glorious in the spring with the lovely scents. I did end up buying another Winky Double Rose because I really liked that one and I didn't want it to disappear. I also got another foxglove, which looks pretty. And then back there I've got some, oh, I forgot about this. I grew more pincushion flowers, but this is like a red, like a wine. And then otherwise I've got mallow. I think I still have some verbascum back there, and I think I have some Sweet William coming back. Oh yeah, there it is. See it? Little white or red, pink. There we go. I have been working in my garden all day to get it ready to show, so slightly tired. My Japanese maple, of course, is still beautiful. It did this really fun thing this year where the cornflowers kind of spread in them. So when they were blooming, you could see pops of blue coming out of the maple foliage, which again, I thought that was pretty fun. The the milkweed, I believe this is the showy milkweed. No, this is the swamp milkweed. I had 2 that popped up last year. Now I have like 7. So yeah, there's that going on. My butterfly bush though, it's hanging in there, it's coming back. It does have some weird like wilting or something. Almost like, I don't know, some sort of pesticide drift maybe, I'm not sure. But yeah, so that's gonna be an interesting display here soon. And then just the rest of my rudbeckia, which kind of just grows everywhere in my garden. So that's my front garden. Now let's go unveil my vegetable garden. So when I watched my May video, I said I like to start my vegetable garden from a distance so that you can see like the scale in which I'm working with. And this year it's even more different because basically almost everything is brand new. We had to build all new garden beds this year, and by we I mean my husband, who worked tirelessly on making me these beautiful new beds. This time we did pressure treated just so that they would last longer. And yeah, so there's been a lot of work that has happened in this space. So let's go ahead and start on this side. I did my my cotton candy pansies again, and then I grew these from seed. These are called bunny ear violas. They're just so cute. So I was pretty happy about that. My lavender that I got, I think it was last year from the Urban Garden Festival, looks huge this year, and like it's gonna put off a lot of flowers, so I'm very happy about that. I've got other pearl poppies, and then I got this beautiful white foxglove. I don't know from where or how, because I've never actually planted white foxglove, but I'm here for it. Apparently these are really hard to get where they're like pure white like this, so I must be amazing. That container still has Monarda in it. I think I'm gonna take that out and give it its own bigger pot and do something different in those next year, but for now those are staying. My raspberry looks amazing, so very happy about that. I did finally dig up the rhubarb and put it into this pot because my fig died, which is fine. So I have a pot of rhubarb now, and I actually broke off the flower stems this year, and then I wrung borage along the outside because I just happened to have a bunch of borage starts. So we'll see what happens. So here's big unveil number 2, I guess. We took out the low bed that was along the house and replaced it with 3 tall metal beds, which surprisingly, even though it's kind of less square footage overall as far as a garden bed goes, I seem to have a lot more space, growing space, than what I felt like I did with the other bed. So that's pretty awesome. And even like my broccoli is doing I think this might be my best year for broccoli ever. So making these my brassica beds was really a good call. I've got some like nasturtiums growing on the edge. I've got the white cover for insect protection just because I know my pest pressure is pretty high. So I just kind of do that right off the bat. And I have some lettuce interplanted in there. But it's broccoli. I've got 2 rows of broccoli, cauliflower, and then Brussels sprouts in the back because I won't give up and I keep trying. This bed ended up being my cabbage bed. I had 3 Napa cabbages that I didn't even try to grow. It must have just, the seed must have got mixed in with my other cabbages, but they bolted just like they always do, so that's why I don't like growing them. So I let them grow, try it out, cut them down, it's fine. I put 2 sweet potato plants on the corners, and I have some extra Lisianthus up front. I grew, I think 3 of these I grew. I had to buy more because I started a bunch, but the tray got like, I don't know, sickly, and my seeds didn't last. I did the Tetra Noir red cabbage this year, trying a different kind, and then behind that I've got 3 green acre cabbage. And then if I come around the side here, I have kale on both sides, and then I grew some snap peas, threw in this trellis. This was up front last year, so I threw it in this year, and that's doing pretty well. And then this bed ended up being sort of my leftover bed in a way. So I planted an extra calendula here because I like having flowers in the garden. I did 5 rows of beets. So I've got all different kinds of beets growing, and they actually look healthy, and I did them direct from seed. I didn't put them in trays and then transplant them later. Oops. I've got 2 different squash. I threw an extra borage in there. It does look like it's not okay, which is fine. I picked out an arugula, put it there because I'm hoping it'll like trail down the bed. A Swiss chard because again, I just really like the color. Oh, and all of the beds are lined with onions. I like to do that to help with pest protection, even if it's just a little. And then I have a bunch of bread seed poppies and some black swan poppies that I had left over, and I needed a place to put them, and I thought, and let's try this, see how that works. On this table I just have a little pot of portulaca. I just really like that. I guess I'll just look here and then we'll do this bed. This is the same pot combination I always do. I do 2 sweet peas, ring with alyssum, and then I pulled some amaranth starts out of the ground and just kind of popped them in there, so either they'll take off or they won't. I did bring another planter into this area, Bordeaux petunia with bacopa. That's another amaranth I didn't grow, it just was coming up, and I have a couple other random things in the back. Over here, this has become more of like my wildflower or extra flower pot. So I did finally look this one up. It doesn't look as pretty as it did now, but this is actually flax, and I loved it. It was just pretty light blue flowers, and it bloomed for quite a while actually. And then I kind of, any chamomile I found, I dug up and put in here. I've also thrown a couple snapdragons I found, calendula. I have some statice in there just because I didn't have anywhere else to go with it. So yeah, that's kind of my extra flowers. And then I just have a field of lamb's ear, which I also really love. So I've just been letting it spread and do its thing. I like to use it for arrangements and just, I don't know, I just really like it. This dahlia looks fine. That one hasn't come up yet, so either it's dead or it's behind. So we'll figure that out. My green stalk is doing okay. My lettuce season is pretty much done, and same with the spinach, it's all bolting. I did throw some extra peas I had in here because I like to start my peas from seed, but I use like deep root trainer trays only because I have too much pest pressure from like birds and stuff. So I had some extra, I threw them in there. I also threw some arugula, got onions. I had a nice kale here, but it broke, but it looks like it's coming back, so that's fine. And the carrots look pretty good, so that's that. In this bed, I am trying tomatillos this year. I've never done those before. I did not need 4, but they apparently seed very easily. So I grew like 6 of them, and I planted 4 of them because I don't like to waste things. I also had last year put all of my spring bulbs in this bed, but then since we were replacing the beds, I kind of had to dig them up. So I have some of them in here. I've been ripping them out as they've been drying off. So it's ringed with onions. It's got some spring bulbs left. I got the tomatillos. I have a zucchini here and a squash there. I have a couple just extra peppers that I had thrown in here, like a bell and some jalapeno. These are all calendulas, again, that were growing in the bed, and I wanted to save some because I specifically don't start many from seed because they kind of readily grow here. This is just a little pot of lettuce I've been keeping in my greenhouse as decoration. I have some hollyhocks that I winter sowed. I want to get them planted out, but my bunnies like to eat them, so I've been trying to wait for them to get a little bit bigger. And I got 2 bare root astilbe plants from a friend, so I'm really excited to get these bigger and get them planted out. And I also still have some winter sown columbine. Again, haven't planted it because I don't want the bunnies to eat it. And then I did my snap peas on both sides of this trellis again, and an extra cantaloupe is there. Moved the hummingbird feeder over here just for something more fun. I have another new pot. This is Bubblegum Vista with some snapdragons and eucalyptus. And then another little pot of extra snapdragons. There's my sweet potatoes. And these are all my extra tomatoes that I grew but nobody needed. On this trellis, I have random squash and zucchini on both sides just because. And I have some sunset runner beans that I've been trying to grow, but the bunnies really like them, so I finally put netting around the bottom, and I'm trying to let the beans get big enough that I can then take the netting back off. And then I have my loofahs. I did one on each side. I did not end up using the loofahs. I did like cut them all down and get sponges out of them, but I didn't like make them into anything. So I don't really need any loofah, but I just really enjoyed the way that they grew. So I have 2 hanging pots this year over here that are portulaca. Currently they're there because I didn't know where else to put them, but they don't have drainage holes. So when it rains a whole lot, they don't look too pretty. This is going to be my bean bed. So I've got some green beans I started, some seeds I put in, and I put more seeds in, again, cantaloupe and snap peas. And then these were the extra cold crops that I had. So I've got like 3 cabbages. I think that's a Brussels sprout, and then a broccoli, which I did harvest that broccoli. Wasn't super big, but it was there. I also randomly threw a bunch of snapdragons that I topped in here, and it looks like they might actually be rooting, so might have a pocket of those too. My strawberry tower looked pretty bad this year. I think I lost a lot of strawberries, so I did buy a 6-pack when I was flower shopping with my mother, and then Greenstock put these really cute little strawberry cups that you can use to propagate runners. See how I did this here? So yeah, I had to do that, of course. Waited till the Mother's Day sale and grabbed them. And then the rest of the pockets that have anything in them are just extra plants that I had that I didn't have anywhere else to plant. So kind of decided to do that because if some of them die, like in my actual beds, I can rip them from here. Otherwise, just leaving them in their little grow containers wasn't going to help anybody. And then my flower tower here, I ended up digging up the Sweet William from last year and putting them into here, and it worked really well. So that looks really cute. I have my Canterbury bells, but they decided to grow outside of the Greenstock, so now they're growing in front of it. I don't even know what the heck this is, except that I'm pretty sure it's a forget-me-not that's pink, and I love it. So hopefully that keeps self-seeding. And here's another, the red gomphrena. And then I've got a purple, a black boy bachelor button for once. I've been trying to grow that one forever. Yeah, and the rest of this is just random, either things that have grown, things I've dug up from the ground while I was about to mulch, or I threw some seeds in the pockets this weekend. So yeah, it's going to be random, and that's the way I like it. I did fill this one up, and I'm trying to grow dahlias in this year. I picked varieties that are small, and ones that I also wouldn't be too terribly upset if they don't make it. So I've got 3 of them in here. 3 is probably too many, but I have a mystery one, and I don't know what it's going to be, so either it'll do well or it won't. We finally leveled my carrot bed. I have it sitting on like stones and stuff, and then I have a water irrigation there now, so I'm going to actually tap into that and irrigate this bed so I don't have to hand water it anymore, which would be really nice. But my carrots are doing lovely, and for the first time ever, my radishes actually look amazing. Now, I haven't eaten any of them. I was just really happy I got sizable radishes this year for once. But yeah, so there's that bed. And then, oh, I have a little toad friend, so I gave him a little toad house because I didn't want anyone to step on him. This is a bunch of mother of pearl poppies, but the bunnies have been very much enjoying them, so they keep eating, and I'm not going to get many flowers, which is unfortunate, but hopefully I can spread the little bit I get. Here's where I dug up some of the Monarda from the ground and put a bunch in here. I also dug up some fleabane because it was growing in my patio, and I don't know why, but I like it. And then I've got celosia and other random things growing in here. My blackberries look really good, so hoping to get some of those this year. And then I wrung the pot in onions, again trying to help with pest protection. More Monarda, again more mother of pearl, and then this lavender also looks pretty good and hopefully will grow nicely. And same pot over here. Also another pocket of amaranth randomly. I'm probably going to regret leaving that go. Alright, so then in my beds, so I've got some nasturtium and some butterfly peas I'm growing in the corner. I have a Marketmore 76. That's an extra loofah because I didn't know what to do with it. And then cantaloupe. And then this alyssum I dug up. So that's kind of mostly what's going on here. I've got a dahlia in the front there. But my plan for this bed this year is to actually use it to grow flowers. So I'm going to do like 2 rows of zinnias, potentially cosmos or something else. I haven't decided. And I have some sunflowers too, the Astra Cream. So I'm waiting for those to get sized enough that I can put them in the bed. But I started having issues, like not only with the bunnies, but also with the squirrels. I keep having a squirrel that gets into my beds and just digs around. So I put the net up. That seems to deter them. Oh, I have my little bunny friend. Do you see him? Oh, there he goes. He's my little bun friend. He's so cute. Just a tiny little thing. Okay, then on to my tomatoes, because I love my cherry tomato tunnel. So I've got cherry tomato there, just a regular cherry, yellow pear, and then this is, oh, the black cherry. So I've got those 3. In between them, I've got some green basil growing. And then on this side, I have a Robeson tomato. And then over here, I've got the Cherokee purple interplanted with basil, black strawberry, sunset cherry, which will be like an orange, and a rosella. So that is my tomato tunnel for this year. And again, on this side, I repeated the exact same thing on the other side. So I've got the cantaloupe, the loofah, and then that's the Boston pickling. So it'll be the smaller cucumber. And then this bed ended up being all peppers. So the first 3 are the small Chinese 5-color peppers. And then I did Fresno. So I've got 3 Fresnos. Then I have 6 jalapenos, 3 mini red bells. And then I've got 2 eggplant and another random bell pepper. And then back here, I did my my 3 poblanos. Again, everything's netted right now to help with the squirrel situation and potentially bunnies. And then over here, I've got 6 bell peppers, 3 shishitos, 4 serranos because I love my serranos. I did the 2 dahlias again. So over here I've got Cafe au Lait, and that one is Thomas Edison. It's supposed to be like a big dark purple. So I'm excited to see that. And then for my slicers here, I've got Black Beauty and Pink Brandywine. So that one's a new to me, I'm trying out. I've got some purple basil planted here and a squash. And then on this side, I've got the striped German and the carbon tomato. Again, zucchini, purple basil. And then this is my dahlia bed for this year. So I planted 4 down each side, so 8 total. Oh no, I did 3 in the front, so I've got 9 total in here. And then also a potato that I didn't intend to plant, but grew anyway. So gonna have a little bit of potatoes, even though I wasn't planning on doing that. And then, like I said, this bed is flowers. I did do some anemones and ranunculus, but I had a big problem with my ranunculus this year. I think, again, it was either the squirrels or the bunnies just kept coming in and like eating the plants. So having the netting is helping. But I ripped all of the ranunculus out. The anemones weren't touched as much. I did have issues with the anemones as far as like saving them. So I don't know. I do think I lost a lot of my ranunculus corms though, so I will most likely have to buy new next year. All right. So if I head then to my greenhouse area, my husband got these really big, nice pots. He got 2 of them for me from Costco. I think they were like 15 bucks each. And I didn't know what I was going to do with them this year. So for now, I just threw whatever leftover soil I had and threw some dahlias. So this is a Daddy's Girl and a mystery dahlia. And then, you know, I went to a store and they had cheap, pretty plants. So now there's also a salvia and an angelonia in there. This pot is all self-seeded poppies. I didn't plant any of those. It looks like a fair amount of them are the breadseed variety, so that's really exciting. My pots this year, same thing, where I do my cotton candy blend and my violas. Those are purchased ones. They're like a raspberry sorbet, I think. And then I've got my sweet peas. I've got a random sunflower. It did get topped, but it's branching, so it's definitely a branching sunflower. And my stock, which is actually doing pretty good this year, which is exciting. On this side, most of these I have planted the poppies. Some of them came back on their own. So hopefully that catches up because there's quite a difference between the two. Again, same pot. Look at this stalk though. Look how big and pretty. Oh, so pretty. I'm very excited about my stalk this year. And then, like I said, mirrored container. So this has Arabian Night and Wizard of Oz dahlias, and then again a salvia and an angelonia. And then around my greenhouse, as I step over extra hay, I had a couple snapdragons just kind of pop up, so I've been letting those go. Same with calendula. I did plant Lisianthus, so there's some there. Here. Oh, I did some status in here as well. And then on this side, I ended up just doing a bunch of sweet peas this year instead of trying the butterfly peas because I never got any last year because they kept getting eaten. So that's like my Lisianthus, my sweet peas, and my calendula spot. I did have one Lisianthus actually overwinter and come back, so I'm pretty stoked about that. And then look, got this entire section of just like snapdragons that popped up from last year, and a couple sunflowers too. So, and then if we go in my actual greenhouse quickly, you'll see there's not much going on here. I did something different with my baskets this year. I did the bunny ear violas and then alyssum that I grew from seed which was really nice, and it smelled lovely in here. I did some stock in here as well, and then I went and got my strawberry mint because I love that. Here's all the ranunculus I pulled out, so I'm drying them off, and then I'm gonna pack them along with some of my bulbs. So this is mostly tulips, and then these are the narcissus. And then here's this is gonna be my zinnia plugs I'm growing. First time I've ever done a plug tray, so we'll see how that goes. So yeah, been doing lots and lots and lots of work in my garden space to try and get it ready for this year, since we had so many things that needed change, which then also prompted me to finally mulch and weed this area. But yeah, so I'm really excited to see what this season has. Let's go to the patio. All right, so for the patio garden, same old, same old. I have my hostas. I did the 2 sweet peas and just let the Goldilocks and Dragon Blood sedum go. I also let the anise hyssop grow because Caleb really enjoyed those last year, so I'm leaving them go. I think they looked really pretty too. This is my herb corner. So I've got my rosemary container. I've got some thymes and oreganos. Most of those I bought. I think I grew 2 times. Another floral pot. This petunia is so cute. This is the Tiara Pink. I wasn't sure because I don't usually like variegation like that, but I love it. My theme this year seems to be pink and purple, but then I have a blue basil. All right, sorry about that. It's not even hot yet, and the camera already overheated. Anyway, I think I was just talking about the basil, so that's my herb corner. Coming over to this pot, I did sort of the same combo as last year. I did salvia in the middle. I've got the tall verbena that I can't think of the name, some alyssum, and I couldn't find the Merlot petunia like I had last year, so I ended up getting these 2. I definitely like the bright purple better than the black, but still kind of striking. I had a euphorbia in the back here that looks terrible. I put some black prince snapdragons, and then I have a sweet potato vine that got eaten by deer, so. Another pot of just portulaca. I love that stuff. Over here, I've got my lemon mint going on. This is a whole container of stock that I grew, so I'm excited for that. I've got a strawberry banana like primrose, super cute. Pot of nasturtium. This year I did that same purple petunia with a hot pink verbena and the light purple bacopa. My stevia, and then the hyssop just started growing there, so I threw in some snapdragons that I've been finding that are self-seeding, and that's pretty much that pot. This one I think I had a little fun with this year. So I got like this hot pink petunia, and then I finally tried one of these. Can't think of their name. I know the variety is Safari Dawn, but I can't think of what the plant is called. So I did that, the stalks. I've got a gomphrena in here, along with some nemesia. I did this like lobster verbena because I really like that. Threw in some portulaca for more variety, and then alyssum and dichondra. So this pot's actually really full. It looks like there's also some snapdragons in there. Got some pansies over here, my blue and the purple one that I grew, and some portulaca. This herb pot has pretty much the same things I do every year. My chives are getting very nicely well established, which I'm happy about. I've got the 2 different parsleys, though this year I grew my own parsley, so that was cool. All of this alyssum is alyssum I grew, and then I've got a bunch of cilantro. That is a slow bolt variety, and yet it's already bolting, so there's that. This pot over here, I think something's wrong with my poor little impatient here with all the yellowing of the leaves, but I'll figure that out. Otherwise, this is my apple blossom double impatiens. I did a really pretty begonia, just like a pink. I've got some alyssum, seems to be my thing, and then some sweet peas that I grew. Oh, I have my latest crochet project out this time. I am doing a shawl that is like skulls. going to be a gift for somebody that's into that kind of stuff, and it was kind of fun to learn. I've got another little pot here. This is some stock I grew, or sorry, that I bought. Some pansies, my goodness, and Dusty Miller. Up here, I just have another, this is kind of a fun color of a geranium. And then I got the Bada Bing begonia. I've always wanted to try it. It's okay. I think I expected it to be a little more interesting, and it's kind of interesting with its double blossoms, but we'll see. It's a nice little, like, easy combination though for up there. Over here, that pot's full of stock that I grew. I've got some portulaca in the other one. I have a strawberry mint up here because I just love it. I got that fun variegated thyme again because it died last year. And then this is more basil. And then I have my mints over there. Over here, these look a lot different than I usually do. I have a different geranium in here. I couldn't find the Martha Washington I usually get. And I've got this fun, this is called like Acapulco Double Impatient. So those are pretty cool. And then this beautiful, like hot pink begonia. But this is normal, what I usually do. So I've got that orangey begonia along with the Double Impatient and some Dusty Miller. And then the last pot combination I have over here, again, Alyssum. I just love it. This is more stock that I bought because there was like this little 6-pack or something. This really pretty light pink begonia with some Dusty Miller. And then I've got the Lobelia, the purple kind. This is another Double Impatient, but it's like a bright orangey pink stock I bought again. And then this Martha Washington geranium. It's not, I don't like it as much as the really dark one, but I couldn't find my dark one. And that one was on clearance because it was really small. All right, so then let's look at the gardens around the patio. I'm gonna start with this garden. My cherry tree, whew, camera's falling, is getting pretty big and awesome. I love it. But I didn't really plant anything else in this garden this year because it tends to not do well whatever I plant here anyway, and it ends up sacrificing to the deer and bunnies. But I do have some of my Stargazer lilies coming up. A couple of them got topped, which is fine. I've got my hostas, which also got eaten down. I had really pretty narcissus. They looked fantastic. Also always have like hyacinths and stuff. My lavender has split into like 3 separate plants, but it looks relatively healthy, just probably won't get many flowers. And then of course my bird bath. This catmint, I'm obsessed with this. I think I want to get more because it's just so big and pretty, and the bees love it. And then this garden looks pretty bad too. Again, I've got a surplus of bunnies this year and not the heart to do anything about it. So a lot of the stuff got eaten down. It doesn't help that I have a bird feeder here because I just like to be punished, I guess. I'm pretty sure I think that's a primrose I got last year, but we'll have to see when the flowers come up. I also still have like a little aster or something under there, or coreopsis. My lavender back there, I bought that from vacation last year, so I'm excited to see how well that's doing. I put some status up front, and then I got this Pachyra here. Somebody came and ate all the yellow flowers off, but it looked pretty well they were there. And my plumeria is doing much better. I love that thing. I kind of want to get more just to like add it. The colors are just so fun. I did move my hooker over here, and then I'm pretty sure a squirrel ripped it apart, so pretty sure that's dead now. I've got 2 different types of anemone growing, but the bunnies keep eating my anemones down, so I'm not sure how much of that I'll see. And I always just throw my debris in here, hoping the bunnies will eat that instead of my plants. This is a really pretty aster, I'm pretty sure, which doesn't look like anything, so I've got a couple mixture of things there that I never get to see because they eat them down. And I moved my delphiniums out further. They were pretty much eaten to the nub, but they're coming back, so we'll see. And I have a Mexican sage over there because since I dug the rhubarb up, I needed something else. So that's kind of what I have there for now for this year till I figure out what I want to do next. Maybe the astilbe, I don't know, we'll see. On this side, my hardy geraniums. I got to see a couple flowers this year before they got eaten. I have dill growing everywhere, which I'm letting that go because I didn't grow any elsewhere. I've got some hyssop, which I don't need, but it's planted, so here we go. I had a really pretty white phlox that I got to see it and then it got eaten. I moved my hellebores over here. So that's another thing I could do is buy more hellebores over there next year. My lamium kind of died out, so I bought a second one because I like that. So I'm hoping it comes back. That's another aster, again, got eaten pretty hard, but it's coming back. My astilbe, I moved it out because it was shadowed by the aster. That's my hot pink one. And then my azalea looks awful, which again, I don't really care because I'll likely be done with that here soon. So, all right. So last but not least, let's go look at the pollinator garden. All right, I'm gonna start in the back of my pollinator garden this year. Right now, it's basically a sea of calendula, and sorry if you can hear that, someone's weed whacking. I do have my elephant ears in here, so hopefully they come back because I do love that. And I tried a Thunbergia this year, so I've got a little one growing there. I need to keep training it so it actually climbs my trellis like I'm hoping. Again, I've got this anise hyssop pretty much everywhere. This is more goldenrod because I keep trying to get rid of that and it keeps coming back, but something enjoyed it, so I'm not mad about that. My hydrangea looks pretty good, surprisingly, because I'm usually pretty rough on it. Oh, I had Virginia bluebells for the first time and they were so pretty. I was very excited about that. And then I have a penstemon there that looks great. My spiderwort also looked amazing. I was so happy I got that plant because it was really fun. And it's still got blooms going, so that's cool. I forget what that is, but it's another native type plant, so we'll see. My hibiscus, my organic or native hibiscus is coming back. Looks like a dahlia back there is coming back along with the sunflower too, so that's good. This fennel just doesn't die, which that's okay. If it gets me lots of butterflies, I'm here for it. A lot of cone flowers. This lavender looks really good. This is my light pink, so I'm excited about that. And you can see my milkweed spread. I've had that milkweed for 3 years and now it's spread this year. There's another random sunflower. Lots of cone flowers. Oh, my mullein, my Southern Charm mullein. This thing exploded. I had so many flower stalks. It was so pretty. And I'm pretty sure this is going to be a hollyhock. Not growing where I want them to grow, and all of the others I had didn't come back. So, and I have love in a mist down here. I've never grown it before, so that's one of my new ones this year. I've got cone flowers everywhere. That aster is growing rather large. There's also a pretty large dahlia back there as well. My peony did really good. Oh, and it looks like there's some more blooms, so that's good. This comfrey is also amazing, but I think the time has come that I really need to dig some of this out because it's getting too large, and you can see it like flops over in the middle, so there's just too much of it. So I gotta deal with that. I have this little pot here. It's just got the Silver Vista and Peachy Keen Verbena. So just nice little combo. My flower patch there this year, I did the Crispidia again up front, which looks like it keeps getting eaten down by bunnies, which is unfortunate. Because most of those actually overwintered from last year, which I didn't know it would do that. I got a lot of statice planted because I really like statice, and I got some new colors this year. And then the back half is straw flowers. I didn't do as many, and I just did the mix. because I have so many straw flowers saved from all the past 2 years I've been doing it. So I did move my eryngium because it was too close to the house and most of it died. I did move a patch down there, but I also have a new patch growing right there. So kind of the perfect spot for it. Kind of interrupting my status, but at least it'll be not against the house. My sage came back, of course. I need to do a better job pruning it, but at least what I did get is still beautiful. I got a pink truffles, yes, pink truffles baptisia, and I moved it over. Well, I didn't move it, I planted it here. I moved the other baptisia that I used to have over there. So I'm hoping this more full sun area will do better for it. Again, tons of coneflowers. Coneflowers and rudbeckia, that's what I tend to grow a lot of here. I did move my little Veronica. It's died mostly out, but I did move it. And I've got some asters I grew from seed here. They're like Chinese asters called Valkyrie, I think. They're like a light pink. This little pot just has some pansies and kale in it. My daylilies getting rather large. My crepe myrtle looks really good. It's got too many suckers at the bottom though, so I'm gonna have to cut that out, and I think I need to trim the ends off as well. I wasn't sure if I needed to or not. My irises did amazing this year. Now, there's way too many yellow, so I'm definitely gonna have to dig a lot of that up. There's also a lot of purple, so I'm gonna have to dig some of that up so that they keep flowering. But I also got this really pretty one, like they're all dead now, but it was like this variegated pink and purple. That was really pretty. I do have some flag irises. Bunny. I do have some flag irises there. I also have verbascum growing down there. I'm hoping it does more than just be leaves this year. Yeah. It's an onion. My yarrow, of course. Got 2 little patches of phlox as well. This ajuga also looks great. I'm hoping it spreads further down. It's so pretty. And then I have random flowers here. There's actually a couple straw flowers growing, which is kind of interesting. My larkspur pretty much disappeared though. It migrated and or got eaten, like that one. I do have a Russian sage though. I planted as well, got that this year. But yeah, and then again, this pot, which is a repeat of the other side. So yeah, that is my pollinator side garden. Got lots of good growth, some new things planted, some changes, and that's all right with me. I like to see every year what things come and what things go. But anyway, thanks for watching.